when I hit center field, like that's when it starts happening, and it gets loud. And I mean, you start realizing the moment. And I'm a gritty winner. You know, I was going to find a way to freaking win.
Yes.
I was not losing, and he had kind of given me a little bit of a not a bad vibe before the race, but he was pretty standoffish once he saw me. Like the first thing he said when he saw me was, "Oh boy."
Oh, really?
And he was like, "We got a runner today." And I'm like, I'm not a runner. I'm
a dad.
I'm a 43-year-old washed up dad that just had hip surgery.
Welcome back to another episode of Straight Down the Middle. Wow, this is a very special episode. We've got the guy on the couch returns in glory after beating the Freeze at the Braves game last Friday. Welcome to the pod, Scott Toole.
Yes.
Here we are.
The quiet one from LFG.
Right where I didn't want to be again.
Let's hear it for the quiet ones.
We always knew you were a legend. Now there's evidence that you are a legend.
Yeah, I mean, I waited till I was 43 to really have a coming out party for people to learn.
43?
Yeah.
How are you older than me? You look, you're fucking 7 years younger than me.
And a hip surgery about a year ago to the date, wasn't it?
Had hip surgery, I think it was July 21st last year. So
unbelievable.
we're a couple days away from the 1 year anniversary.
Yeah, so for those
Shout out Dr. Carl Freeman, JOI.
Carlos.
Matt Paulus rehabbed me to victory.
Matt Paul,
so
give all these guys a shout out while you can. I mean, the JOI crew brought this man back to full strength.
For those of you who don't know, the free Atlanta Braves, they're in the middle of the sixth inning. They have this track star that they've brought out since 2017 called the Freeze. He dresses up in this outfit, and you basically run the
foul pole to foul pole.
Foul pole, yeah.
Warning track.
What's the warning track? What's the head start? It's about 4 seconds.
I still don't know that answer.
Is it a distance or a time?
I was not to the gap in left center.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I think I was probably almost to the 375 gap in left center when he takes off.
Yeah. So, anyways,
But
our buddy
is it
Scott
handicapped?
Toole.
What happens if it's like a 240-pound lady?
Well, they're not picking those people out, dude. So, anyways, our
That's
buddy
the thaw right there.
The third wheel here at LFG. There's Scott, myself, and then Scott Toole.
The true brains.
I mean, the two Scotts for sure.
Two Scotts.
Yeah, it's between either of them.
You guys are just up there on vacation, going to a Braves games, and take it away. How'd you get picked?
We went down. We stayed at the Battery, so we're right there. Had lunch down there. Started drinking beer because I was like, it's my last day of vacation. I'm going to go ahead and tie one on a little bit here.
It's a great place to do it, the Battery.
The Battery.
So we had lunch at a couple beers, and then we went and got in line. It was probably 2 hours before game time, and we're standing at the gate, probably 15 people deep in line, and
going early for a bit of batting practice.
Go check out batting practice with the boys in 105-degree heat.
Yeah.
And this blonde marketing chick from the Braves with a clipboard in her hand, clearly my soon-to-be waiver, says, "Hey, do you want to race the Freeze tonight?" And Melanie was just immediately like, "Oh God."
Really? I thought she'd be the other way.
Well, she
knew he was
just
gonna
knew
say
I
yes.
was going to do it.
Yeah.
And she knew there was no chance I was going to get talked out of doing it. And I mean, I kind of I asked the boys what they thought, my two boys, 9 and 11-year-olds, and they were like,
yeah.
Do it. And they aren't going through all the stuff I'm going through in my head. Like, please don't hurt yourself.
Yeah.
I could fall. I could hurt myself.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm picked, and I signed the waiver. She gets my cell phone number, and she's like, "I'll text you in the bottom of the fourth and tell you where to come, and we'll go down the tunnel."
So right away, though, you just
so the adrenaline starts. I mean, I'm like,
this is at 5 o'clock.
And this is 7:20 kick. So 5:20 probably. So I'm immediate.
For 4 hours, you're just pacing.
I had only had 2 beers at that point.
Yeah.
But I also was like, okay, well, I'm gonna have to put the brakes on. I can't be going full throttle like during BP during the first 5 innings.
Well, you can.
Dial it back, Dad.
Wouldn't help.
So I was like, I can't. I got to show up during this race. I'm running to win.
Yeah.
I'm running for my kids.
Well, he did, man. And we've done a little research. We can't find more than 3 guys who have ever beat that guy.
Yeah, definitely not
I mean,
over 30 either.
Yeah.
Dude, that was impressive. That video.
The
most impressive part, I know that you got a little bit of help and you can tell us about this, about strategy, but for me, the most impressive part was the very end.
Yeah.
I mean, because he caught you with about 20 to 30 yards to go. Not caught you like right next to you, but he caught you
was
with
there,
30 yards to go. And you held your own, and you were clearly gassed. And,
I mean, you could see me. Every ounce of everything I had was going into every stride, every arm pump.
What's the crowd noise like when you're kind of getting close
it was
to
nuts,
the line?
man. I mean, I've played in front of a few thousand people, but I certainly haven't been in front of like 35,000.
Scott used to play. Scott played college baseball at Florida State.
So no comparison at all.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, when I hit center field, like that's when it starts happening, and it gets loud. And I mean, you start realizing the moment. And I'm a gritty winner. You know, I was going to find a way to freaking win.
Yes.
I was not losing, and he had kind of given me a little bit of a not a bad vibe before the race, but he was pretty standoffish once he saw me. Like the first thing he said when he saw me was, "Oh boy."
Oh, really?
And he was like, "We got a runner today." And I'm like, I'm not a runner. I'm
a dad.
I'm a 43-year-old washed up dad that just had hip surgery.
But he's sizing you up.
But he was sizing me up, and we're in the tunnel there, and the dude's going through all of his like band work. He's got his bands with him, and he's tying it to a pole and doing these side things with his hip, and I'm just giving it the like calf stretch on the bullpen wall.
Hand on the wall.
And I was talking to there's 2 dudes in the White Sox bullpen, and then their bullpen coach, who was the guy talking to me, and he kept telling me, he's like, "You got this, man. I'm looking at you. You got this, man."
Really?
And then,
That's awesome.
And then the security guard that was monitoring them was this old dude that looked like he's been with the Braves since Fulton County Stadium.
Yeah.
And he's like, "I just need to give you some advice here." He goes through his spiel, and he's like, "Just don't come out of the gates too fast. Everybody runs out of gas late." And I had gotten the exact same advice from my buddy Pease, who runs the Kyle Pease Foundation up in Atlanta. And he's a running coach, so he knows exactly what to do. So I'm texting him before the game, like, "Dude, I'm racing the freeze.
Yeah.
What do I do? It's not a quick sprint. It's a pretty decent. I mean,
How far is it?
a quick sprint would be to the 400. Like,
Right.
you hit a point to where it's
Is it
just
200 yards? You think?
it just hit.
I would say
I don't know, but you hit a point in that race where it's like you just got to dig down and find something that's not there.
Right.
So
Not at 43.
Pease also said to me, he was like, "Look, just start slow, build speed all the way to the 400 sign, and then suffer from there."
Which 400? The 400 sign is dead center.
Dead center.
Yeah.
So,
Center field.
so from that point on, I was giving it everything I freaking had, and I don't think you could see it early that I was giving it everything I had. But
Early, I could definitely tell that you were pacing yourself.
It looked like you were sandbagging it. So back to the
maybe
advice
start
you
a little
got
too
there.
slow.
It's like, man, I think that, and we heard that the freeze might have left early.
Yeah, so
when he saw you just kind
so
of
I
high
had
stepping.
So as soon as you finished, like my wife and kids are sitting right there in a little holding pen, the Jack Daniels or Jim Beam, I think is what it was.
Like a holding cell.
Shout out.
A little holding pen where I took the picture with the freeze that said I beat the freeze. At that point, when I took that picture, I thought they had given him the win. And he was acting like he was like waving to the
Well, it was
crowd
a photo finish
and pointing to his chest like, "That's me. I got the win." And there's video of me saying, "None," like I'm watching the recorded on the board, and I'm like, no, that's my W. I got the W.
Yeah.
I got the W.
Well, you did. I mean, there's no doubt
Right,
about it.
yeah.
You had the photo finish, and the announcers even said it.
Right. The announcers over the loud system said it. Scott from Jacksonville gets the win, and then the announcers on the broadcast also said it. But I didn't know until I took the picture and then turned the shirt around that said I beat the freeze that I had actually beaten the freeze.
Oh, wow. You still...
Like, I thought I had personally. Like,
But
I
they
knew
gave it
I
to
had
him.
beat him, but I thought that they had shafted me and given it to that guy. And I'm like, couldn't believe it. I turned the shirt around. I'm like, I won.
Yeah.
But back to the left early thing, right there in that holding pen, this dude like runs up to us and he's like, "Man, I'm a season ticket holder. I'm here every game. That dude 100% left like a logo early, maybe even 2 logos early on you.
That's funny.
So you should be even more proud. So
Hell yeah.
that was awesome.
It's great. What a great I don't know if the Braves came up with that idea. I feel like it was done before.
I think the Freeze
Oh,
came up
it's
with it.
Yeah, so the dude worked on
great
the grounds
entertainment.
He
crew.
pitched
Yeah.
the idea.
It's a
He's-
great idea. I hope it lives forever at this point.
How long's it been going?
should.
A long time, right?
2017.
6
and
years.
I'm telling you, dude, we have scoured the internet. I can't believe the Braves don't have an official record
That's
for this
weak.
guy. That is weak as shit
Yeah.
on their end.
We demand.
But there's only like 3 videos online, and I know we had COVID, but this is 6-7 years going now.
Yeah.
That's freaking impressive, man.
The Braves went on to win that night, but they have not won a game since.
Oh,
the curse.
The
Yeah.
Freeze got
We're-
beat.
oh.
I think
Gave up 16 last night to the Diamondbacks.
Wow.
Worth it though.
That was a record yesterday for most amount
I'm
of.
willing to take that bird. It's okay.
They
we got
broke some.
we got a World Series in 21, so we're good to go.
They broke a 130-year record yesterday.
What's that?
Most amount of games with 10 runs or something.
How about there was
Offenses,
also
balls are
3
flying
games
everywhere.
yesterday?
And it was like a bunch of teams were off too. It was
3
Tuesday.
games
No way.
yesterday finished 11-10.
Wow.
How random is that?
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's baseball. So I want to talk about
That's the
Th-
new
this-
rules coming into. This is what the MLB wanted, by the way.
Well, it's
They wanted games to go about the same time, but more runs. They didn't want them to go shorter.
no offense is exploding.
wanna-
But I want to get
yeah.
back to the experience that we had on the other side of the phone, Tool,
Ah.
while you were getting ready for this. So, just out of the blue, shows up a picture on our phone or my phone.
Friday night, right?
Friday night of the Freeze in the bowels of the stadium, just like looking at his phone, looks like he's contemplating life, and Tool goes, "I'm about to race the Freeze." Like, I hadn't heard anything at all about this all day,
Yeah,
and
same.
he'd been sitting on this. I'm like, this is funny. He just got like access down there. He's hanging out with some people, and but yeah, I side texted to other people. Like, have you seen this? Is this really happening? And so I don't know. I don't have the network to tune in and watch, but it just all happened so fast. And I'm like, okay, 2 things. He's going to beat the Freeze and he's going to get hurt and it's going to be worth it. And by God, that photo finish, like left arm just breaking the plane, beats the Freeze. And I felt like I won. Felt like I beat the Freeze that day.
I feel like there's
Same.
well, my phone tells the same story afterwards because so many people were so joyous about me beating the Freeze, and the last 3 days has been so ridiculous. Like Melanie, my wife's so over it right now.
Is she?
She's like, she couldn't have handled me being.
What about your kids? Are they still?
They're kind of over it too at this
Really?
point. It's just all anybody talks about. My phone doesn't stop. Anybody that sees me or her at this point's like, "Oh my gosh, I can't believe Scott beat the Freeze!" Like,
Oh, God.
It's a feat of, it's one of the ultimate dad feats that you'll ever see.
Well, and
Yeah.
especially where
I thought
we
there should
live
be
too.
some
It's
better
a very
prize.
brave. This is a Braves area of the country.
Yep.
It's everyone knows
yeah,
about this.
and my kids are
Mhm.
huge Braves fans and know all about the Freeze to begin with. So they knew going into it how big of a deal was. They've never. My athletic career was 20 plus years ago. They've never
Yeah.
seen me do anything but be like field ground balls at their practices better than the other dads, and that's about it. So. For them to see some sort of athletic achievement for me, I guess, was pretty cool.
It's a
be-
highlight
to
reel.
the- for them to be like,
that had
"Geez,
to be the coolest.
Dad's
ever
kind of
for
a
them.
badass. Like,
That
holy
had
sh-
to be the coolest ever. For
It
them,
was.
man.
So he
And
does that like 81 times a year. Never
Yeah,
misses.
yeah.
every home game. So.
Every home
What
game.
what do you think he makes?
He's part of the grounds crew.
Yeah, but what? He's got to
I
be
think
on. He's not
he's
doing that for
racetrack.
nothing.
Got to be a little spiff.
100K a year. I bet he gets a K a night. I bet he gets 81 grand for that.
Well, they paid a lot
Minus
for him to lose.
minus
that night.
$50 that night, and a koozie and a jersey.
You only
I
got
was gonna say, you got
$50.
$50.
$50 racetrack gift card and
Come on.
That won't even fill your car up.
and a koozie that I ended up covering in morning track dust because all my clothes were covered in morning track. You did mention the fall. I definitely took a spill. So when you're pumping your arms, you got one out in front of you and one behind you, and at the finish, I knew the timing wasn't going to be good, so I had left out and then I reached with right, and that throws you over your skis.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I still don't really know. You can kind of see the video, but I'm like, I brace myself with my left wrist, elbow, shoulder, and it's all bruised to hell now. But I didn't break anything. Went to the doctor yesterday, so nothing's broken. So that makes it definitely worth it.
It is bruised pretty
Did
good.
the freeze fall, or did he stay up?
No, he just tried to claim victory when he lost.
Yeah, that part of the video pissed me off. I was like, what? Like, one, you better know damn well you won. And clearly he didn't. I mean,
Right.
It wasn't even that.
I'm
it
going
was
to-
close, but it wasn't that close.
I'm going
Like,
to scour
isn't it-
YouTube after this. I got to get multiple angles.
I like, isn't it tie goes to the fan in that case?
I
Like,
mean,
come on.
Maybe not if they're trying to like, keep the streak alive. Like,
So many
was
people-
what was his streak at that stage?
We don't
They
know.
Advertised like 35 in a row. They didn't say it on the ground.
Well, so many people in the stadium didn't think that they had given me the win as well. Like on my way back to the seats, like some people were
Stop
like
the
high
count.
fiving, like "You're the freaking man! You're the freaking man!" And then other people was like, "Man, you got shafted." I'm like, "They gave me the win. They gave me the win."
yeah.
But it was fun. I mean, the rest of the game, everybody coming up to me,
And it was a
anytime I
blowout,
went to the-
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Olsen hit a grand slam in the first, and I was like, all right, I can relax and just focus on Googling freeze races for the first 5 innings. Like, who has beat this dude? How did they do it? Like,
Aaron, it is pretty low rent on the Braves' part, though, that they don't have.
that should
in
be
their
a streak. Isn't
it's
that
gotta-
part of it? Hey, 36 consecutive, and then he loses. Like
we know somebody, Hannah Basinger, you know.
What does she do
Come
there?
on.
She's,
Ticket?
I think, game day operations or
But I think the Braves are missing out.
Yeah, I do too.
Like, why would they not be posting? Hey, he's only been beaten 7 times. Or his record, 1,000 or he's been there 6 8s, 48. He's on 400 and he's lost 20. Like, give us the record
Yeah, I couldn't agree more.
and the streak. What's the streak?
Well, so back to that feeling of accomplishing something where you had nothing to do with it. Like, I felt the exact same way when Matt won at Bay Hill the first time. I mean, like, walk out of the
Yes.
house and crying, like, oh my God,
Yeah.
we did it. Like, I didn't do shit. But you feel it's so cool and pricey. Like, I want to segue to where we are in the calendar with the British and your good boy Cam Smith winning it last year. What was that like? You know, we didn't have the podcast going back then. Would have been awesome. But what was that whole? Take us back to last summer.
I just get quiet. I just can't believe it. So also a similar one was Adam Scott. I'm not as obviously close to Adam Scott as I am with Cam, but I was at Midland, Texas, playing the Corn Ferry or whatever it was then, and an Australian had never won the Masters, and when he won it, he obviously won in a playoff hole apart. You don't know what to think. I just went silent for like 2 minutes. I didn't talk to anyone. I didn't move. I was like, and a similar thing with Cam. Like, obviously, holes apart. Rory doesn't pitch in for eagle. You're just like, holy shit! Like, yeah, I don't know. It's everyone has a different reaction, but it's almost like the little mini disbelief.
Mm-hmm.
So, obviously knew he could win it.
And
but,
it's such a big event. I mean, it's a major, and it's at the home of golf. It was too many stars lining up. you
I
know?
think when someone you do, this might be personal, but when someone you do know wins it, it didn't seem as big. Like when Ian Baker Finch, won the British Open, Greg Norman won it twice. It's like, and this goes back to, I guess, social media. And I was talking to a buddy yesterday on his podcast in Australia about it. Because of social media and everything, you're seeing Henrik Stenson, all these guys, they're doing stuff in their living rooms. You feel closer to it. But, back when I was a kid, there's no social media. It's like the tournament was on, and you don't see till the next week. These people were like literally
Mythical
but
characters.
they thought they were on a different planet. Now it's all so close, and maybe being close to it, and being around some of these guys, and obviously Matt, plenty of guys that win majors. So it probably didn't feel as big. Of course it did, in days to come, but it still doesn't feel. And I think Cam even said in his press conference, it still doesn't feel that real. I think it takes years for it to actually feel like, oh yeah, I won the Open. Like this history. It's been going. Obviously the 150th last year. So to answer your question, I don't know. I probably dumb it down a little bit and make it not as big as it is, but it certainly is big. Especially when, golf has been I don't know baseball for Toole, but golf has been my identity for 28 years. It's something that you never think you'll be near, and then a kid, he's a kid. He's 11 years younger than me, wins it, and same as you, like Matt, you never think someone's going to win Bay Hill. You've been to the tournament, you know the history, and then someone does. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I would kind of echo that. I don't know about the silent part. I get emotional. I'm an emotional person, so like when Toole won that, like I was smiling ear to ear for like the next morning. I woke up and was like, "Are you kidding me? Like I can't believe Scott Toole just beat the Freeze."
But that's like.
But I love anytime my friends accomplish anything, whether it's winning a tournament or something that you can tell it means a ton to them. Like that's enough for me.
Like
to
Spencer
get. That's
Levin
enough. Yeah, exactly. Or Tyson getting his card or whatever. It's enough for me to get off for sure. Like I love that stuff. If it can't be me, I'm gonna cheat that feeling. I'm gonna steal a little bit of that out of your thing, dude.
Right.
It's almost more fun for the group than it is the guy winning. I mean, it really feels better as the fan than it does the guy winning. I think it's more fun probably.
So you could maybe answer this. You won Bay Hill, first tour win, obviously a big one. And I don't know how to compute it, but I bet your feeling was somewhat more relief, and all your other friends, there's no relief. It's like 100% joy. Whereas the guy winning, it is a different feeling.
Yeah.
I haven't won on that level. I've won lower levels, but there's more. Maybe more fun for the friends and the family.
I agree with that.
Actual fun, if you can. I don't know how you work all that out.
Yeah, it's a celebration. Let's party, man. Let's celebrate.
Yeah, no, like
you.
like last year when Cam won. I mean, everyone around him's probably like, "Holy shit, dude! You just won the freaking 150th British Open at St. Andrews."
And he's like
shaking the shit out of him, and he's like, there's no way he can.
Yeah, you can't quantify it, but he's probably like still trying to catch his breath.
Right.
When no one else was in the moment, no one had 4 days of stress, of not sleeping, or whatever. Or not 4 days
of 30 years.
30 years
of grind.
30 years. So that's why it takes a while for the guy when he does win for it to compute. The friends and family, it takes nothing. It takes 1 second. Like,
delayed gratitude.
Yeah.
And others are just like.
That's one of my favorite parts is after a major when the camera follows them to the scoring tent and either having to navigate through the crowd and friends and family are coming up and just the embrace is amazing. And that's just like we're talking about. It's a tribal family feeling of just pure joy for your family.
So now, like he talked about having a bit more of a cushion. So that would be different too. If you're playing the last hole at St. Andrews where you basically cannot make a double, right, and you're up by 2.
You've already won, basically.
That would be different, I think. But like the winning by 1 or watching Rory not make eagle or whatever, or whatever, like your wins too. Like I think if you could, you'd love to do both ways.
Yeah, but the drive home is the same. Like the immediate is different, but like once that settled, a win is a win. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And what about, this is something again much lower level, but after you won that, the next week was maybe Players or something. You get to like the Thursday, so 4 days later, you've forgotten about.
Oh yeah, saying it.
Absolutely.
Mine, 100%. Mine.
And you're like, was that it? Is that all it was?
You're already forgotten.
Yeah, no. And you don't. Of course, you're not. You've got the money, you've got the exemptions, you've got everything. But there is this part of like, oh wow,
Life goes on.
wow, they're already on to the Thursday of the Players.
3 weeks after, or maybe 4 weeks after, the first time I won, I remember I played. It was before New Orleans was a team event, and I played shit on Thursday, like 2 or 3 over. And this is, I mean, I'm right off of playing really good golf and then winning. And I remember just I withdrew, shipped my clubs home, and scrapped like everything in my golf game and tried to change everything right after that. That's how.
So that's where
the golf was.
That's how fuck this game is.
But to play devil's advocate, obviously it feels a little like empty. Like, oh, okay, so they're now Bay Hill's done, it's forgotten. There's the Players Championship. There's all sorts of events coming up. The main thing is you prove to yourself that, hey, it wasn't all for nothing. I think like that's part that I don't even think the golfers talk about. It's the relief. It's like, hey, I didn't just devote 30 years of my life.
That's right. Toole.
And now you've beat the freeze.
Now you beat the freeze. All those early morning runs weren't for nothing, bud.
All that sprinting training you've been doing the last 20 years post-career.
Really been grinding on it.
Remember about a year ago, or maybe less, we were at the beach and we were throwing footballs.
Yeah.
And you and I were going at it. Dude, your speed,
He's a DB.
I don't think I'm fast, but I don't think I'm slow either. And you were like,
he's on you. He
on
can
me.
cover.
I mean, on me.
He's
Closing-
been fast his whole
closing
damn life.
speed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, late speed. That's right.
Matt, I want to get. That's funny you brought that up about. I think your expectations changed after winning, right? And the need or the feeling of changing your swing after winning, like why?
Well, I won again, so I mean, it worked out, I guess. But why? Because you're just why do you change anything in life? You're bored, complacent.
Were you thinking it would take you to another level?
Yeah, and I thought I had time too. Because I won, it bought me a few years out there, and I thought, I just thought I could.
But it is.
I saw some liabilities in my golf game. Like at the time, I think it was with driver mainly, and I thought I had time to make a change and get better. Also, there's certain stretches on the tour where we talked about it on the Corn Ferry the other day. Suicide stretches. There's certain stretches on the tour too where you go with a bad stretch of golf, it just hits a little different.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Speaking of expectation, I watched the press conference from Cam at the Open, and I think that's.
I thought it was a great press conference.
Awesome, but I think that's a little thing in his tool chest is that he doesn't have huge expectations each week. He goes there, he likes to do his stuff, and then once it comes to turn, a little bit like Tiger, like once Thursday gets relaxed. So I don't know if he does that, but I don't think he has expectations of winning or finishing top 5. It's just go out there and do it.
I got expectations for him.
I think everyone does.
Top
but
5.
I think his expectations are I don't have any. Well, I think as a competitor, you know that you want to win.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't even need to be said. Like, remember one of the sports psychs I work with is like, the goal of I want to win, it shouldn't even be up there. It goes without saying. You don't even need that.
If you do all the work, it's going to happen.
Well,
that's
also duh.
It's
like,
results oriented
well, no,
versus
process.
process.
But you can have outcome goals. But he's like, that one shouldn't even be one
Mm-hmm.
because that's everyone's goal. That's like you're not playing to only finish top 10. If your goal is to finish top 10 and you're in a playoff, you're like, oh, it's fine. I finished top 10. No,
well, it's like graduating high school. It's like everybody. It's a thought everyone has, or everyone does. It's not that big a deal. We know you want to win. Come on.
I think he has less expectation on himself than most other guys in the top 10 in the world.
It's funny you bring up high school. We were just talking to some people last night that didn't make it through.
Didn't make it through high school.
And I was just shocked at some of these names that were coming up. They were kicked out of a private school, but just got some dirt on some people last night. So it's good stuff.
Useful.
You ever played Hoylake?
No, but I'm excited to watch.
I played the last Open there.
14.
I was actually texting Billy last night. We stayed together that week, and it was funny as shit. So the house that week was myself, Billy's caddy at the time, Micah, who I actually think's back working with him now.
Yep.
And then my old guy Derek, and Derek there was 3 animals in that house, and then Billy basically is what it was, and
he's seeing some things.
And Derek, it was a VRBO or whatever, it was a rental. So there's always a security deposit for like cleaning and stuff like that. Well, Derek loves smoking cigarettes. And on the course, he wouldn't ever throw the butt down on the ground. He would put the butts in his pocket. Well, he was also lazy and careless and, fat. I mean, just he was awesome.
The best.
Yeah, he was.
Don't
the
take
best.
it personally, Derek.
Teddy
was.
We love you.
He's not.
I love him. He's the best.
Oh, he's awesome.
But he would fall asleep in his bed with the clothes on, and the cigarette butts would come out in the bed. So the owner of the house didn't return the security deposit because he thought Derek
Was smoking
was
in bed.
smoking cigs in his bed when he was. They really just fell out. Billy called me. I'll never forget. He was like, "Dude, what the fuck? Derek's smoking in the bed." I'm like, "What? No, he wasn't."
But now Horsham will look back and go,
I tell you, we were texting yesterday.
That's
I'm
like a
"You
better
remember,
memory. It's
remember
worth
Derek?
the $500.
Oh yeah, he laughed his ass. He was like, "Oh yeah, I remember that." He's like, "That guy was unbelievable." I was like, yes, he was.
Billy rocking a beard. So he's got. I don't think I've ever seen him.
I
with
think he's
facial
about
hair.
to have a nice little run here.
Do you?
Yep.
He it reminded me of like
I kind of
Rocky.
do too. He
These
just
people
needs,
don't stay back.
He also he. There's a couple things I think have happened to him too that if he can turn his game around just a hair, I think those things are going to push him over the edge. And
Yeah, I
those
think he
things
has
are
some of the home life is clarity, building.
I'm not
stuff
worried
like
about that. I'm talking about
That's on your brain though. I
Sure
think
it
it's
is.
all clear now. It's all good.
but also like player caddy relationships. Sometimes the caddies.
Well, change is as good as a holiday. So sometimes being back with Micah, they got some good juju.
He's
so.
got great juju. I mean, won the FedEx Cup with Micah. Yeah, I think if he turns it around, he could also have a little bit of a chip on his shoulder as well.
Mhm.
Which
Yeah, he's
could play in
no-
his.
I don't see like.
That's
he's,
why I
he's
like
got
the
a-
beard. It looks like Rocky 4. You know,
He's
like
already starting the playoff
he's-
bid. His playoffs have started. Like,
Playoff beard,
it's a
right.
cliche, but he's got to get to top 70 now.
Uh-huh.
The playoffs, 71st guy doesn't get in the playoffs.
I just
That's nuts.
put all of this together. What's happening at the end of the year
It's
this year?
70, 50, 30.
So it's 70, 50, 30, and then after that, it's a continuation of this year in the fall series for the 120.
It's like it used to be.
Right.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Remember when Disney was the last?
Oh yeah,
the last
Charlie
event
Belgian.
to try and keep your card.
Yeah, Charlie Belgian won having panic attacks. Remember that?
Yeah, yeah.
I finished second that week.
I was gonna say, didn't
remember
you
that.
play well that
Shit.
week?
I was like,
I was like, damn it, Charlie. Can't you just go to the hospital?
here's a Xanax.
And I missed the cut and never played on tour again.
That was your last event?
I think so. Was that
No.
11? Yeah, 2011. I think so.
Thanks a lot, Mickey.
Well, I played a couple of US Opens.
That's another great Derek story that week. So I wasn't going to play that week. It was the last week of the year. I already had my card wrapped up. And Derek was going down to Costa Rica for the week. And he is going to, he's going to Costa Rica, single guy. He's going to party.
Sure.
And his parents didn't know he was going down there. So they knew, they know what he does for a living. He caddies for me. And his dad's a big golfer or whatever. So he lies to them and said... And
Matt, you
why?
got to play.
No, he
Disney.
just lies and he doesn't tell him that he's going to Costa Rica. He's caddying for me down there. And sure as shit, I start playing good and I'm on TV like every shot. And Derek's not there. And then his
That's
dad's
okay.
calling him and the phone's beeping when it rings.
Oh, the
you
different
know,
dial tone.
The international dial tone.
Yeah.
Oh, so good. That was a tough one for him.
You can imagine being busted that way. That is just.
But again, like I know in the moment,
Odds are probably pretty
maybe I'm
good.
getting
Matt might
fucking
get on
old here,
TV.
but like what a great memory.
Oh, dude.
Like imagine he just caddied like his dad, as annoying as that would have been. Like that would come up at Christmases and Thanksgivings. It's like we got to start building some memories.
Dude, I need to start writing down things that come up in my head with Derek because there was like I'm
Write a
not
book.
kidding. There was like a 6 or 7 year run with him and I. It's just
You could
basically
actually
like
write a
traveling
book.
with your best friend and neither one of you can say no to each other. is what it is.
You should. I think people that write books, most people are like, why are you writing a book? But you could write a book easy.
I have
You
to change
Grant,
some names.
Grant
Change
Buchanan.
some names
You
to
could.
protect the innocent.
Change
There's
some
people
names and I
that
need my kids to be older.
you should. You and Grant Buchanan should write a book.
I don't know about that.
The life and times.
What we got coming up? Anything exciting?
I'm hitting the road tomorrow for the Plunder on Polly's Island.
Oh, little Myrtle Beach action?
Myrtle Beach playing Caledonia and
Myrtle Beach in
True
late
Blue.
Dude,
Dude, it's going to be so hot. But the winner gets a sword, a pirate sword. And so I'm
where can we put that in here? Right?
You get a spot for it now.
but
I mean, we got a place
Inspiration.
to put all of our,
But you met the salty golfer
yeah.
down at the
PGA
show, and we've built a fun relationship, just kind of collaborating with each other. And Live Forever Golf's going to go up there and do the swag package for the Plunder, and I'm gonna try and compete. You know?
I saw Doug Peterson wearing our stuff at the
Yes.
celebrity thing out in Tahoe.
How about
Hold
that?
on, we need to address.
By the way, he
Steph Curry.
looked great. That Jags head on that
Ooh.
polo is
That's
super
money.
clean.
So shout out Tyler Shatley, guard for the Jags, got us Dougie P's mailing address. So I
You
want
just
to
sent
hook
it
him
to
up
him?
with some polos and some shorts.
Does he
and-
not live in your neighborhood?
Yeah, he lives in the back.
Yeah, but he was traveling.
He was already on the road.
and he was headed
just
out
sent
to
it to him
Tahoe,
and he
so
wore
we
it.
just mailed it to the locker room.
Yeah, and not only that, Aaron,
that is
he
fucking
also
awesome.
told Trent Baalke that it's his favorite
yeah.
new line.
He
Come
was
on.
he was wearing a polo at the ribbon cutting yesterday. for
Was he
the-
really?
The new Miller
Let's go.
Electric Center.
Come on.
Yeah,
Come on.
I mean,
do you think
he
you
did
guys
look
could make
good in it.
football jerseys, or does that have to be like Reebok or Nike?
That's rough.
We'll leave
I'm
that
just
to
kidding.
the.
What about training polos?
But yeah, I mean, hell, we'll outfit the whole.
Hey, we have t-shirts.
What do you want to
whole
talk about?
staff.
What's up with Steph Curry?
Like, fuck, the mother, he had a hole in
Hole in
one.
one.
That's unbelievable.
That guy's.
And then
like,
the putt he made
He
to
couldn't
win.
play on the PGA Tour, no, but that guy is. He does things he shouldn't be doing.
He finds the zone. Like
Fuck
he lives
me.
in the zone.
Yeah, concentration.
Lives in it.
Key,
Flow state.
Yeah.
right?
What's that like?
It's achievable. You just have to do the work. You got to
How
do
does he
breathing,
do that?
Sounds
breathing
exhausting.
exercises, and just
No, he's a reactionary guy. That's what's crazy to me is golf's not. It is, but it really isn't a reactionary sport.
No, it's a momentum sport,
right.
but it's not reactionary.
No.
I saw the hole-in-one live. I was like dozing in and out.
I
It
didn't
was
know till
on
the
the
next day.
background, and as soon as it happened, I mean, I'm thinking Tony Finau. He starts sprinting up the
But,
the
no, he's-
walkway to the
he's an
green, and
athlete.
I'm like,
No
oh,
offense,
God,
Tony, but-
please don't roll your ankle.
That was
Um,
awesome. I thought he did it on that 16th hole. They would have gone jumping in the water there.
Oh, that would have been.
That's like
That would have
bigger
been
than
the
Tiger.
version of the Phoenix.
Who did he
yeah.
make the putt to beat? In the,
Marty Fish, I
Marty.
think.
Fish.
Marty Fish is a stud too.
Mm-hmm. Nice player.
Well, he's not with Travis Matthew anymore. Send him some LFG
He's
stuff
not?
to Marty Fish.
Really?
Well, maybe he is. Well, they're all they got bought out. I don't know if he was in. I know James Blake and Roddick were. They were part of the company.
Blake's
Mhm.
announcing. No, he's good too. Good tennis
Yeah,
announcer.
Wimbledon. Watch that. Alcaraz coming.
Changing of the guard now. I
Alcaraz.
think that stuff is psychologically in that one-on-one. I think Alcaraz is going to beat Novak every time he plays him now.
Who's
that,
the
that
golf,
middle
who's
hurdle?
The
That
golf,
was the
Yep.
climb right
Yep.
there.
Who's
Yeah.
the golf version of Alcaraz?
The young up and coming. Is it Ricky Castillo?
No, it's just no. Stop.
I don't
No,
know.
Alcaraz isn't young and up and coming. He's fucking number one in the
He's
world.
here. Yeah.
Yeah, but he's like young.
That doesn't happen in golf, you know.
But it has.
Roseng. Oh, speaking of that, I ran into.
she has been anointed.
No, hey, listen.
is she number one? Or something? I don't know.
Detroit Airport. I had a connection there. And
Get
I
her
was,
on the pod.
I was walking through the tunnel and I see.
How good is that tunnel?
It was under construction, so it
fuck.
didn't have the lights and everything. But Rose was walking towards me, and it was a weird moment. But I let her go. I didn't ask for a selfie.
That would have been so
Coming
good.
off her first miscut as a pro.
Probably should.
Gotta learn.
Yeah.
Gotta learn how to
First time for
be a
everything.
professional.
Yeah.
Well, there'll be many more for her, and they all suck.
That's 2 weeks in a row we've had women's golf make our
Mm-hmm.
podcast.
We are turning into no laying up.
We are.
Lofty goals.
That's
What else do
good.
we have? This, I mean, shoot, summer's almost over. Kids go back to school. Football's cranking
It's
up.
this is going to be a hot week in Jacks. Holy shit! Did you see the next 3
No,
days?
What is it?
Like today, 94, 95, 97.
I'm going to a
Friday.
water park, taking the kids Thursday to a water park. Is that tomorrow, Thursday?
Yeah.
Which water park?
It's, the SeaWorld one. Aquatica.
Oh, you're going down to
Oh,
Orlando.
nice. You're going south,
Yeah.
southwest.
Jeez.
Fun times in Orlando, man.
Love that I-4.
It's a great city.
What about camp? No camp.
No camp next couple of days for them.
Well, we talked about that because it's going to be so hot. They're not indoors at that camp.
Mm-mm.
What about you, Tool? What you got going on the road?
Any more
This
Braves
has been the
games?
summer
We
of
are,
Tool. After
the summer of Tool continues.
And
this
you were
weekend.
coming.
All right.
You were coming back from the Greenbrier.
Correct. Yeah,
On
I've
to
had
the Braves game.
quite a run this summer of vacations. So
How sick is the Greenbrier?
this weekend we're headed to the Low Countries. The Greenbrier was great. But to be honest though, this on-site service there
Not good?
No bueno.
Really?
A lot of people
West
that felt like
Virginia.
they were training and hadn't been in the hospitality industry before. So
Hard to find good people.
you're paying a pretty good premium
Yeah.
up there,
Did
so
you go to
it
the
should be a
casino
little
at all?
better.
It is
I
West
did,
Virginia.
but it's pretty weak. I mean, the only people going are a few people that are on site.
See, that's
so
weird. Yeah, see, the only weeks we've been there, or that
It's
I've
busy.
been there, it's been
July
slammed
4th.
for the
Yeah,
tournament.
it's the 4th of
and
July.
That casino is pumping down there.
But they
dude.
did have
Yeah, all the
Liv.
tables are full.
Liv is going to the
Next week?
Greenbrier.
Oh, yeah.
So
2
it was.
weeks.
I mean, Old White was
It's
pure.
next week.
No, they have a week off,
Oh, they do?
and then
It's
it's
August.
Oh, you're right. You're right.
Is it Greenbrier, Bedminster, or Bedminster Greenbrier?
Greenbrier, Bedminster.
I was shocked. I mean, when we first showed up, a buddy of ours was up there as well, and we were looking at the Live infrastructure, and we're like, yeah, it's pretty weak. Like a couple small stands, and that was about it. But as the week went on, like it looked legit. It looked like a PGA Tour event was about to happen.
I bet they fill that place
That
up.
18th hole there. it
There's
used to
3
be-
good courses there.
Par 3.
One of them's shut down now.
Did you do fly fishing?
Which one?
No,
There's like a private one.
the Greenbrier course itself got washed out by that flood in
Old White.
2014.
But it's still there.
so
right?
there's a 9. It's only 9 holes.
What?
Yeah.
Yeah,
And then
ruined it.
there's the Meadows course that they redid, added some British Open bunkers to.
Man, I caught the.
So it was pretty nice.
So that Greenbrier course that we played.
You're
is
telling
not
me
there
there's only
anymore?
9 holes left of the
The actual Greenbrier, yeah.
tournament course?
The
I
green,
think on
not the
Google Earth.
white. Not the
Not
white.
not
Not
Old
Old
White.
White,
Old
okay.
White's good to go.
Yeah.
Old White. That's the one we played.
Yes.
Yeah.
But there was a little one across the road. That would be there because it was up on the hill.
But yeah, you
That
remember
was the
seeing the
original.
videos of like just it looked like a river just
The
took over the
must
golf
have knocked
course.
out
It
the
was
private
nuts.
one. The private one was good. We played a pro-am there. It was sick. It was probably a better course.
I had the Ross deal there one year, man. I got.
Oh, top 10.
I was leading after 2 rounds. It was the year Jonas won, and I got food poisoning Saturday morning, and I teed off at 1 o'clock on Saturday. And it was like 100 degrees, and I couldn't get down. Like if I took a sip of water,
One
it
of
was
those.
coming out of my mouth or my ass.
Oh.
I mean, it was one or the other. It was freaking awful, and I
Get this
couldn't.
guy an IV.
It was so bad. I'll never forget it. I didn't even warm up on the range. I hit my tee shot on 1 and ran right back into the locker room to go to the bathroom. It was awful. 4.5 hours, no water out there, 110 degrees. Dude, they couldn't even find a vein to give me an IV after the round. It was so bad. But what a terrible time to get food poisoning.
That first year was crazy. Was that wasn't the
No,
first
this
year?
was like maybe 2 or 3 years.
Stuart
then.
Appleby won the first one. Everyone was about to shoot 59.
That's right. And
first
remember
year.
that
Then they made
guy
it
would give
longer.
$1 million on 18 if you made a hole in one. He'd give him. It was or no,
Something crazy.
it was like 1,000 each to the if you were in the stands.
No way.
Yeah, Jim
on the
Justice.
weekend. It was like,
Oh yeah.
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 That's sick.
Yeah,
It was.
it's
yeah.
a badass. I mean, I think
Guys
it'd be
trip.
a badass guys trip.
Yeah.
It's a cool property.
they're
You're just
shooting.
paying a ton though for
Yeah.
like a guy's trip. I don't know if a lot of guys want to spend that.
And you
but-
pretty much got to drive there. I mean, you can't
unless you're
it's not
flying
easy to
private
get
into,
there, yeah.
they got a
They
private.
got private. No, Delta flies in there.
No,
It's
no,
like
no,
10
no.
minutes away.
What?
Yeah, that one that's like 10 minutes away. Yeah.
Really?
Otherwise, it's Roanoke. It's 2 hours. That's a fun drive,
Bro,
though.
I've done that Roanoke because
That's
Liam's
great.
birthday is July 4th. So like if I missed the cut, I would go home.
Can't do it at night.
Oh, I've done it at night, bro. Banged up, going through those. It was a full moon. It was actually pretty
S-bands.
sick.
So
But
sketchy.
it's one of those drives where if you're a passenger, you're 100% throwing up.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Holding on to the bar.
Well,
Oh,
you're
just
a
cold
yard from
sweats.
going down the
It's
hill.
super sketchy.
They don't
around
have
there.
guards on like the hill. Like it's.
Yeah, I've had it like I'm
God
talking about like
rails.
running it at the casino till 2:30 and then catching a 6 a.m.er and doing that hour and a half drive to Roanoke through the mountains,
Oh
dude.
my god,
It's
that's
freaking.
that's
So-
50-50.
I did the
Ugh.
Greenbrier when I was 18, so this was
Oh, my God.
98. Went up there.
This is
They
pre-renovation.
wouldn't have even known that's where the bunker was.
But this, the Sam Snead was like the head pro, like emeritus. Like he just roamed the grounds. It
He's
was-
Mr. West Virginia.
yes, but he was just walking up and down the range, just offering tips
Really?
to people. The guy was an absolute gent. But it was a corporate type of deal. I went where we had dinner with Sneed, and he sat at our table
Jesus.
and told the dirtiest jokes the entire dinner, and it was
You found
phenomenal.
respect.
Pre-cell phones.
It was so
Yeah.
good.
Can't do that anymore.
Who is the I think they've carried that tradition on with, like, I think Tom Watson or
Yeah,
Faldo.
Bubba got a something up there. I think they canned him though.
Faldo?
Who's the new
Who went
guy?
to
No,
live?
it's somebody. There's a new Greenbrier guy. Who is it?
Faldo's definitely a name up there.
He is.
He's
a
got
name.
a place.
He's got a
up there.
place up
Yeah.
there, but they got a
What
new
a
guy.
deal!
It might be Watson.
Yeah.
Just
I
kind of
saw a lot of
retired
Sam.
out
Leishman's
there.
got
I saw a
there
lot
a
of
bit.
Sam
They
Snead
love it.
stuff.
Really?
Still,
Yeah, I know the Leishmans used to go out like once a year. They love it up there.
You know, Sam Snead's had a hole-in-one with every club in his bag.
Did you have the kids? You took the kids there?
Nuts.
Mhm.
Did you do the tour of the bunker?
No, my parents did. My parents
That's
were with
all
me, and they did it. So I just got the highlights from theirs and looked at a few pictures and felt like that was
It's
It's like a
me.
World War II bunker or something.
yeah, but it was worth it. It was only 30
That's a
minutes.
major for the wives. The Greenbrier was.
Mm-hmm.
'Cause they have
Yeah.
some nice shops in there. And
Oh, yeah,
they'd give like the players like 40% off on like handbags.
A major.
Yeah,
He's
and you
freaking
got a
good.
pedicure. That's
Oh, it
my,
was a major.
my only
It was major.
only ever pedicure was because it was like free, and Lucy was like wanted to do it. So
Why do
I didn't mind it,
why
actually.
when I hear pedicure in your face does Dumb and Dumber come to mind with me when they're like filing off the toenails with the
Buffing it.
my toes are pretty good, thank you. I know you may look at me and think that I've got Lamisil or something like some sort of shit going on, but I could be a foot model if it wasn't
really?
for how flat they were.
feetfinder.com. Is there a male
Yeah, males' feet are
audience for
disgusting.
that? No, like a demand for males' feet, like because you know how these women are making like money on Feet Finder, and
Ooh, I didn't know.
they just sell pics of
It's
their
like a-
feet, dude. How weird is that? People like get off on
Damn,
that.
Heather has great feet.
Does she?
Yeah.
Hey, you could be missing out all these years.
Hey,
toe-
sweetie,
like Rex
you don't even
Ryan
have
would
to
love
put your
those
face
toes.
on here.
Guys got like toe jam and like, ugh.
Yeah, Rex
remember
Ryan. There's a bunch
George
of Rex Ryans
Costanza?
out there.
George Costanza, the hand model.
Yeah.
Walking around in oven mitts.
Golfers cannot be hand models.
I think
The calluses. and
maybe
shit.
as a joke, somebody should start an account and see if we can get some heads.
Somebody like you.
As in me. Sure. Yeah,
Do it.
I'll do it. My feet are fine.
I'll submit pics. I do like a pedicure. That is
Oh, I
nice.
get
You
this
do
all,
'em?
all the time.
Maybe
you do 'em?
every
Like
other year. or
Once
something?
every couple months.
Wow.
Maybe 3. Yeah, I'll probably get 4 or 5 a year.
I just need to look at my feet and get
Bunch of women.
absolutely disgusted, and then I'll book an appointment.
Bunch of women.
Plus,
dude.
they
You're
give
on
you
your
like a leg
feet every
rub.
day.
I'll take a foot massage.
That's
I
what
need
they
that. I love
do.
them.
That. So you're paying for a foot
Extremities,
massage.
foot, hand, and head. Best massages ever.
Okay, I got one for you. If you went to a massage place and it was like a shitty one, you knew you were going to get a shitty massage, but whatever, and you lay down, this isn't going where you think it is, and you're like, man, I would really like her just to scratch my back for an hour. Do you think they would do that? Do you? And
That's
be like,
good
hey,
because
you know,
How good are
can
the
Can you
nails?
not? You know what? I know you're supposed to rub me, but can you just scratch my back for like 30 minutes?
I bet that request happens more often than you think.
Really?
Yeah.
There's nothing worse than
There's gonna be a lot of
disappointing
skin
massage.
under those nails, though. Like it depends. I mean,
Yeah. I mean,
Get a
some
utensil.
people.
Get a brush.
it's not the same. Nails,
I mean,
nails
good,
will.
but I have nails.
Utensils will never beat good nails.
God, back scratches are the best.
Hmm.
I
So
used
what do you
to-
think?
I used to have to
Do you
scratch
think
my
yes?
grandpa's head when I was a kid.
I think Melanie. I think my wife would definitely be.
I'm
in
not. I'm
for an
talking about
hour.
a professional. If you went to the Inn and Club today and to get a massage, and you walked in there, you're like, yeah,
This chick doesn't look
you
strong
just
enough.
Scratch my back.
Like that spot. Like, how can you screw that up?
Yeah.
It's it's
Why don't you
easier than
start
rubbing
this?
a back.
Look,
I
we
don't-
got
I don't know if they've had the
spas, we
proper
got
training.
stretch labs. You could
Stretch
have,
labs with scratch labs.
You could have a scratch lab.
Yeah.
No, don't. We need to edit this out.
Scratch lab.
I don't
we
want
don't.
to steal it.
Yeah.
All intellectual
Kind of like the
property
scratch
is-
lab.
Yeah,
Scratch.
the scratch lab. You bring your dog.
got a
you-
nice ring to
You can
it.
bring your cat, bring your
I
dog,
agree.
bring yourself.
Yes.
I mean, there's goat yoga, so
There would be 30-minute segments. The dogs can be 15 minutes. You know, I mean,
What about your ass? Like, good scratch on your ass.
that's
Like the lower back.
now we do.
Yeah, no,
The
your
top
cheeks.
of
Now we do
cheeks.
have to cut that out.
Top of the cheek.
No, you don't. Like, I'm talking cheeks. I'm not talking. inner ring piece.
I don't think I've ever heard that description.
I haven't either. Inner ring piece?
Well, yeah, your ring piece.
Oh,
No,
on the ring piece.
Yeah, it didn't mean inner.
Yeah.
Ring piece.
Okay.
All right,
No.
well, we're
Need a
really
drink.
stretching this one out today, so
Let's
Free-
plug it up.
I kind of want to call them the freeze now, but no.
I need to pay to get a little advertisement for my real estate work.
Yeah, let's hear it. Let's hear it. Give us a
shout
plug.
out, give a plug.
Where are you with
Nah,
these days? Southern.
Angle and Volkers
Mm.
just did the 6 shops. Just did 104 million last month.
6 shops. What does that mean?
Like brokerages. Well, he's one brokerage, but there's 6 offices.
Oh, I
They're called
gotcha.
shops, and they don't call agents. We're called advisors, real estate advisors. But
104 million. So that means Aaron made 6 million last month.
I did 5. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I got him over the
Decent
100.
month.
It's hot. I mean,
Get
just
you
No,
by
it's
the-
good. It's
Get
really
you by
good.
this summer.
Getting a little dry at the moment, so that's why I'm getting the plug in.
all right.
But no, it's good. It's good industry.
Is summertime the like peak for summer?
A little bit. You got people moving here before school starts, but
Mhm.
a lot of people are away, so it's a little bit of both.
Mm.
Yeah, if you're moving for a company, you want to get everybody settled before the school year starts. So
So it's always a good time to look if you're buying. You
Uh-huh.
know, right after school goes back, September. My home's been on the market, more than 60 days.
a lot of people moving here, man. It's
industry's
kinda,
too.
it is swelling.
It's still
Still going.
still coming. Your finished products are flying off the shelf still. Sometimes
It's so expensive to build right now, isn't it?
But if you got an older property that needs some love, they're sitting. People are overpaying for the finished product and want a real deal on the products that need some love.
yeah, turnkey versus
Turnkeys, I think that fixer-upper thing, that
Those shows.
that shows just, I think, sold people down the road. They're showing you without labor costs. I don't know how. This kitchen, $12,000.
Yeah.
Good luck trying to do it.
Like, damn it, these meth heads just stole $6,000 from me, and now I gotta make up. You remember that? My
I do
place?
remember that.
Unbelievable. I
What was
had
his
the
name?
Nightmare.
Frank?
Frank.
No,
Well,
Frank was
the
the good
one.
guy. Will was
Will.
the guy's name.
Yeah.
But the best part was,
It turned out good in the end, but yeah, there was some.
the best
Some
part was at the
hiccups.
very beginning. There was popcorn ceilings on this place.
Yeah.
And this guy, I just hired him he was going to bring a crew in there and just scrape, all the
that
stuff off the ceiling. And I had a freezer bag of like
products.
gummies
Uh-huh.
in the freezer. Probably like $1,000 worth. All right. It's the only thing in that fridge. I go out of town for 2 days while these guys scrape these popcorn things off the roof. Come back, gone.
Gone.
Yeah, gone.
And they were blaming.
They threw them away. They
Everyone was
thought they
blaming
were-
everyone.
They were
Oh,
expired.
it must have been
Those
them.
guys don't even work for me normally. I don't know what they. I'm like, okay.
Oh,
They
that-
could
that
have
was
just
the-
taken like 20.
was
I
the
mean,
longest
you take the
reno.
whole bag.
I mean, that thing took you what, two and a half years? I remember I did a drive by.
I remember John. Yeah,
And they were they were out working, and I rolled down the window and it's like, hey guys, and they're like, hey, what are you doing? Like, I was just doing a drive by to make sure y'all were working.
basically, yeah, right.
And then he texted
and
you
he wasn't
immediately.
working. Yeah. That was not good.
Turned out well in the end.
flew to Hawaii and got an email from him saying he was robbing Peter to pay Paul.
I'm quitting.
Fun times. Yeah.
He was honest.
Yeah.
He was honest about it.
Eventually he was. Yeah, but getting back to that, you're only as good as your subs and those renovations. I mean, you're right. We never see on TV the
It's a
the
joke.
fuck ups.
Just now, through COVID, it was so hard to get contractors. It was so hard. The contractor would come in and go, they'll start it. They start it straight away, so they're locked in. And then, see them for a week, and then ordering products like, the Russia war as well. Like a lot of plywood comes from Russia. It's partly ethical, but partly not. Like the
risky
contractors
fucks.
are just they're just clutching at straws to get labor. That's another thing. I think DeSantis is on the wrong end of this immigration thing. It's like running some of these people out of
He's
Florida.
losing momentum.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
I have no idea what you just
The other
said.
day, I
Google this guy. He's
Hey,
like 33,
listen.
CEO of a bunch of companies, Indian guy. He
Vivek
is
ran for me.
an animal.
What's he saying? What's his deal?
Just, he'll tell you like all the policies.
Write that down.
Tucker Carlson, they were all in like Iowa or something. Tucker Carlson was interviewing them all. Tucker Carlson's definitely on the Vivek train.
All right. Well, that got heated. Thanks for coming on,
All
Toole.
right.
Amazing story. Congratulations on
Thank you.
beating the freeze.
Yeah.
Congratulations to us.
We're gonna
for
get those
knowing you.
Congrats to us, really. I mean, what other podcast clothing company has a guy that even is capable of that?
Yeah, wouldn't even sign up.
You guys need the apparel
for the team.
Apparel Olympics. Come on, Travis Matthew and all these other companies. Let's
We'll
be
take 'em
dratty.
on.
I think
Let's
we've
roll
said,
out your athletes.
We've said that since day one as a golf company. If your four can beat our four,
Ooh,
Ooh,
I like this.
I'll take it.
Let's get this promoted.
Live
I'll
action.
take it right now.
Take it.
as soon
take
as
him
my
down.
shoulder heals up.
Can Pete Miller
need-
play
need
still? Is he any good?
3 to 4 weeks.
All right. Thanks.
Enjoyed it,
All right,
guys.
Good stuff.
cheers.
Good shot.